Bismillahir-Rahmanir-Rahim. In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most forgiving. Narrated by Abdullah bin Abbas. During the lifetime of Allah's Messenger, peace be upon him, the sun eclipsed. Allah's Messenger, peace be upon him, offered the prayer of the eclipse, and so did the people along with him. He performed a long qiyam, standing posture, during which Surat al-Baqarah could have been recited. Then he performed a prolonged bowing, then raised his head and stood for a long time, which was slightly less than that of the first qiyam, and recited Quran. Then he performed a prolonged bowing again, but the period was shorter than the period of the first bowing. Then he stood up and then prostrated. Again he stood up, but this time the period of standing was less than the first standing. Then he performed a prolonged bowing, but of a lesser duration than the first. Then he stood up again for a long time, but for a lesser duration than the first. Then he performed a prolonged bowing, but of lesser duration than the first. And then he again stood up, and then prostrated, and then finished his prayer. By then the sun eclipse had cleared. The Prophet, peace be upon him, then said, "The sun and the moon are two signs among the signs of Allah, and they do not eclipse because of the death or birth of someone. So when you observe the eclipse, remember Allah, offer the eclipse prayer." They, the people, said, "O Allah's Messenger, peace be upon him, we saw you stretching your hand to take something at this place of yours. Then we saw you stepping backward." He said, "I saw paradise, or paradise was shown to me, and I stretched my hand to pluck a bunch of grapes, and had I plucked it, you would have eaten of it as long as this world exists. Then I saw the hellfire, and I have never before seen such a horrible sight as that. And I saw that the majority of its dwellers were women." The people asked, "O Allah's Messenger, peace be upon him, what is the reason for that?" He replied, "Because of their ungratefulness." It was said, "Do they disbelieve in Allah? Are they ungrateful to Allah?" He replied, "They are not thankful to their husbands and are ungrateful for the favors done to them. Even if you do good to one of them all your life, when she sees some harshness from you, she will say, 'I have never seen any good from you.'" This is from the book Sahih al-Bukhari, book 67, hadith 131. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.